time once again for Game Points to bring in the expert. RotoWire.com senior editor Jeff Erickson here to teach you more than what you learn at that fancy school of yours. So take the crayons out of your ears, shut up, and listen good. Here is Jeff Erickson.
You can also follow Jeff on Twitter.com/Jeff_Erickson. And just to give you an update, Jordy Nelson has scored 21-21 now, late stages of the third quarter. Green Bay and San Francisco all knotted up. Meanwhile, there's a challenge ongoing by St. Louis as to whether or not they've scored a touchdown. Right now, it's being ruled down by contact at the 1, and if it does get reversed, it'll be 24-21 for Arizona. All right, let's bring them in. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Doing good. Happy football, Matthew. I bet you it's nice to have your team win on Thursday night. You can sit back and relax and watch everybody go.
All I was thinking Thursday night, Jeff, as I got congratulatory texts coming in, was, 1, let him do this in the playoffs, and 2, 5 more games till we get Von Miller back.
Nice. Well, hey, you know what? The playoffs seem like a really good bet. I mean, you're in the right division. The rest of your opponents in your division are not expected to be that strong, so you're off to a good starting point.
You know, I would disagree with KC. I really think they're going to be a 9 or 10 win team.
They could be, but I don't think anybody views them as one of the heavyweights in the league, right? I think they're improved. I think everybody likes their coach. I think a lot of people like bringing in Alex Smith, and they've got a better defense. I just don't view them as like a team that is one of the heavyweights in the league. I think that Denver's over-under, their floor is like 10 wins.
All right, Jeff, let's talk about my fantasy team. It's
that bad, huh?
Yeah. So number 1, Ridley fumbles and he doesn't see the field again. Am I screwed now moving forward because Vereen had a good day?
No, you're not. This is a thing that's happened before with Belichick. A player fumbles, he gets sat for the rest of the game. He'll come back the following week. It just means that we're going to have to deal with that. It's frustrating. And trust me, look around the league. Look how poor a lot of the running backs in this game did. Look at the opposite side of the field. C.J. Spiller had a miserable game. Look at Lamar Miller if you really want to talk about panic.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right, so I'll keep the faith with Ridley. Meanwhile, MJD, same kind of thing. Not a great day. They fall behind early, and boy, oh boy, I didn't do well there either.
No, and that one's a little bit more frustrating. I think that you could have reasonably expected a decent day out of MJD, and they didn't do anything. You know, Chad Henne came into the game late in this game, and maybe that's a good thing. I think in the long run, they're not going to do too much with Gabbert there. Yeah,
that's a fair call there. On the other side of that ball in KC and Jacksonville, little troubled by the fact that I invested in Dwayne Bowe, and I only saw 4 catches, 30 yards, when certainly there were some other players on the offensive side for KC starring today.
I wouldn't worry too much about that one there. I think it's a case there where every top receiver has a game or two where they don't do a whole lot. Maybe teams are slanting their coverage towards him, making other players beat him. Well, other players did beat him, so maybe that's something to look forward to there. I think in the long run, you're going to be okay. But yeah,
all right, I'll get off the ledge.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? This was a game where they're up big early. It was 21-2 really early on in this game, and from there on out, they kind of just took the air out of the ball, let the clock run.
All right, and Jeff, what is the meaning of Doug Martin not going off against the Jets today? That was my other one that was a good kiss.
Jets are a good defense. He got a touchdown. You're fine. All right.
I feel better. All right. Okay. Jeff, moving on here. Vernon Davis just made a phenomenal play over the middle. Big, deep play. He's got 2 touchdowns already today for the 49ers. Is this a situation where with Kaepernick now as the quarterback, you're going to see some return to vintage Vernon?
Yeah, we saw it in the playoffs a little bit. I know we also saw with Kaepernick during the regular season that he disappeared, but during the playoffs he really stepped up. With Crabtree out, they have to have a second guy besides Bolden, who's looked terrific today. They need that other option, and I think Quentin Patton's someone down the road that they might turn to. But right now they're going with the devil they know, and that's Davis.
All right, elsewhere in fantasy land today, Jeff, Adrian Peterson, 3 touchdowns, 93 yards total on the ground, but obviously that most of it on that 78-yard run. I guess the Lions figured something out with AP, or is it just because Minnesota was behind?
I think it mostly was the Lions just dedicated all their resources to stopping AP after that. And, It kind of sort of worked. I mean, he got the 2 touchdowns afterward, but they were both in short yardage situations, and they did nothing besides that. And I think they said, okay, we're going to make the rest of this team beat us, and the rest of the team couldn't.
All right, Jeff, let's look at some of the interesting guys to maybe pick up or trade for, et cetera. The rookie in Baltimore, Marlon Brown, could be in for maybe a few starting assignments now that Jacoby Jones is out 4 to 6 weeks.
Right, and Jacoby Jones has never been all that great in normal offensive schemes anyhow, so perhaps this was something that, it was a good thing for him anyhow. I agree. I think this is a guy you want to think about picking up. I think Baltimore's defense, too, makes it more advantageous. If they're going to play and they're not going to be exposed like Peyton Manning could do it because he's just one of the few that can do that to them. But it seems to me like there's going to be a lot of shootouts going on in Baltimore games this year.
All right. What about the Pittsburgh Steelers situation? Just they lose their center today. Would you be worrisome with any offensive players there running or passing?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a cause for concern. I definitely think that there's plenty of worry there. I think the Le'Veon Bell coming back's got to be a big thing. Isaac Redmond didn't run well and had a killer fumble early in that game, fumbling into the Titans' end zone there, causing a touchback when they couldn't even get 3 points out of it there. Yeah, I think there's a lot of concern there, losing Pouncey like that. I do think that, it's going to be messy, even when Bell comes back, because that offensive line is just a shambles without their center.
All right, Jeff, and then finally, your Cincinnati Bengals losing today, but it's okay. Everybody in the division lost, right? So you don't lose any ground.
There is that.
Gio Bernard, the rookie, not starting today, but only 4 carries. Were you surprised?
A little surprised. I thought he'd get a little bit more work, but there wasn't a game that they were able to do a whole lot with the run anyhow. I was a little surprised they didn't involve him in the passing game a little bit more.
All right, and actually, let's stick with that game for one more thought there. Jay Cutler had a pretty decent day today. What did you think of the second-year wide receiver, Alshon Jeffrey, getting 5 catches?
He was healthy, and he's a talented guy. I think this is the chance for them to kind of give him a lot more work. I'm concerned a little bit that they're not making big plays, but, man, they protected Cutler very well today. The Bengals pass rush couldn't get near Cutler today.
You can check out the app as well for RotoWire. You can check out Roto, R-O-T-O, Wire, all one word if you're searching in the App Store. Jeff_Erickson is the Twitter handle, and, of course, RotoWire.com is the website. Jeff, any thoughts on tonight's game? Who are you looking to break out?
I'm looking for a high-scoring game. I think Miles Austin, I want to watch him. All reports are so far he's looked really healthy, like vintage Miles Austin. I want to see that tonight in live action.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Matthew. Good luck.